Hi, I'm Angel. Thanks for stopping by. This is an experimental reading and editing process for my book, 47 Truths. This is the rough draft, so yeah, take it for that. Truth 41, how to be a peace warrior. Confrontation is a key to good communication. I am a peace warrior. As such, I don't want to tell you how to be. I just want to encourage you to be fully yourself, peacefully, and allow that for me. I believe in the value and validity of the ideal and actuality of peaceful conflict resolution. Societally, this is still an ideal from most perspectives. Individually, it is very much a potential actuality. Learning to navigate disagreement and differences of opinion is a cornerstone of society as I like to imagine it. In an ideal society, we can discuss our differences under the umbrella of getting along and the intention of broadening our perspectives, increasing understanding, and finding ways to utilize our diversity and differences to reach common goals. We need to be able to dialogue without being so rigid in our ways that we can't listen to each other, and also certain enough of our opinion that we can articulate our position. From internal struggles where we learn to confront our own self-defeat and our own self-deceit and self-imposed limitations to our external, societal, even earthly struggles, confrontation of whatever is bothering us, dealing with whatever is the issue at hand, working it out peacefully, and then moving forward is the ultimate key to peaceful progress as I see it, at least at this point. Constructive criticism and feedback is one of the most valuable things we can give each other and ourselves. Comparison can be the thief of joy, or it can be a useful tool to help us decide where we want to be and what direction we want to move in. Comparison can motivate us to do better, to be better. Examples from those we look up to or admire can give us a direction to aim for when we're not clear how to begin. And later, when we notice their fallibility, mortality, flaws, and mistakes, they give us permission to be our own imperfect versions of ourselves. Today, here, now. Show us what you got. That's a Rick and Morty reference. I have several times made a poor choice by avoiding a necessary confrontation. John Cleese. There are no contests in the art of peace. A true warrior is invincible because he or she contests with nothing. Defeat means to defeat the mind of contention that we harbor within. Morihei Ueshiba. Communication is key. I mean, that seems to be the real point of it all to me. Connections, articulations, shared perspectives with the purpose of expanding awareness. Evolution, baby. Seriously, what's the point of any of it if we don't at least try to communicate? One of my very favorite things about living is the seemingly infinite ways we can find and create to communicate. The internet, emojis, coming full circle to biomagnetism and DNA, love, vibrations, music, art, gestures, dance, human expressions is one of the all-time superstar favorites of all time. Did I say time already? Oh yeah, there is time. There is a time factor. It's limiting. I'm going to go into that more. Communication out of context and without a pin in time becomes tangled up, impossible to decipher or agree on, muddy. So don't let the medium limit the ends. The means? I need to look this up so I understand it better, and then I will try to explain it more eloquently to you. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Communications take on so many forms. I learned early on the silent communications of touch and smells and eyes and smiles, the nods and the strokes, the leaning in and the turning away. I grew up in the country with animals, trees, rocks, plants, soils, worms. I know well the love, the envy, the you can't have me, the leave me be, the get away, the stink, the stank, the sick, the help me please, the stay with me, They keep me warm. All of these are so easy to understand when they are silent. In the animal kingdom, where supposedly consciousness is on the lower dimension, is lower the right way to think of it? Maybe it's lower like F is to G, unless you loop all the way around to the next octave. This is why music will always be one of my favorite ways to communicate. It so smoothly transcends the barriers that words run into on their own. By teaming up with rhyme and rhythm, words become something else, in context purely of a song, a place in time and space, outside time and space. Ah, songs. I have 2 or 3 calling to me, pulling at my bootlaces and heartstrings right now. Back to communications. Thinking about the outcomes we want is an important step in good communications. Effective, maybe, is a better word. It is good to consider what outcomes we want before we communicate. Well, if we really do want those outcomes, if we just want to be heard or hear ourselves, then it's good to know that that's the outcome we want too. If collaboration or connection is the goal, then choose those words and cadence and approach. Choose those words and cadence which serve that purpose, and approach the scene with the mood you want to be in. Match the communication style of the person you're communicating with. Be ready to be ready for what you want to happen. And now for some quotes. The art of communication is the language of leadership. James Humes. The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. George Bernard Shaw. Communication leads to community, that is, to understanding, intimacy, and mutual valuing. Rollo May. The most important thing in communication is hearing what isn't said. Peter Drucker. The best way to solve problems and to fight against war is through dialogue. Malala Yousafzai. Communication is a skill that you can learn. It's like riding a bicycle or typing. If you're willing to work at it, you can rapidly improve the quality of every part of your life. Brian Tracy. That's the end of Truth 41. Thanks for stopping by and sticking with me. Stay tuned if you want to, or rather, click on the next video if you can find it for Truth 42, coming up soon in a video near you.